Bears fan, first and foremost. I want them to stay in the name city, and if we can keep them here, we'll keep them here, and we're going to make every effort to do so.
Soldier Field may not be the home of the Bears in the years ahead now that the team has signed a deal to buy Arlington International Racecourse. Good afternoon. That's where we begin. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ben Bradley.
And I'm Lourdes Duarte. Quite a day. The Bears moving to Arlington Heights would lead to a windfall for the northwest suburbs, and there's already a metro stop there. But the question is, where does that leave Chicago and its faithful fans?
We'll hear from them in just a moment, but first, let's go to WGN's Mike Lowe, who begins our coverage in Arlington Heights. Mike?
Ben and Lourdes, good afternoon to both of you. It was back in June that the Chicago Bears put in a bid to buy this property, so today's purchase agreement really comes as no surprise. What it does tell us is that the ball is rolling, even though this is not a done deal yet. The Chicago Bears have confirmed that they've signed an agreement to buy Arlington Park, the 326-acre property in the northwest suburbs, for $197 million, setting the stage for a potential new stadium and a move out of the team's namesake city.
The Bears are making a business decision with that purchase. We'll see what unfolds there, but we also have to make a business decision here in the city of Chicago. As a mayor, as a Bears fan, I'm going to continue to do what I can to keep them here in the city of Chicago, and I don't think that door has closed by any means. But I also need to make sure that, first and foremost, I'm doing what's best for the taxpayers of the city.
The Bears have played in Soldier Field since 1971, with the exception of the 2002 season, which was played in Champaign during the renovation of the iconic Lakefront Stadium. In a written statement, Bears president and CEO Ted Phillips said, "We are excited to have executed a purchase and sale agreement for the Arlington Park property. Finalizing the PSA was the critical next step in continuing our exploration of the property and its potential." In downtown Arlington Heights, we found this group dressed for the day.
Everyone's just excited about the possibility of the Bears coming to town.
There's been a lot of talk that this was going to happen. We had a lot of skepticism where people didn't think it would, and then all of a sudden the news came out.
There's going to be a lot of people coming around, and it's going to be awesome.
Nostalgic Bears fans might say, don't move out of the city of Chicago. What's the reaction?
I moved out of the city. Born and raised in Chicago, love it in Arlington Heights. I can't say anything bad about it.
And even if the Bears were to eventually move out of the city of Chicago, they are still years away from playing a football game here in Arlington Heights. The sale, if it were to be completed, is probably still years away from actually reaching that completion point. Then, of course, there would be probably a couple of years of construction for a new stadium, and the Bears' lease with Soldier Field runs through the year 2033. Reporting at Arlington Park this afternoon, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
A lot more to come, okay?
Well, Bears fans, as you can imagine, have some mixed opinions about the team's possible jump to Arlington Heights.
WGN's Jewel Hillary is live at Soldier Field with that reaction. Jewel.
Hi, good afternoon, Lourdes and Ben. Bears fans that we spoke to today say that they have mixed emotions about thinking about the team leaving the city and going to the suburbs. Some say that the move, they're all in for it, while others think the transition could be devastating. Over the years, Soldier Field has hosted dozens and dozens of huge events, but as any Chicagoan knows, the historic stadium is most notably known as the home to the Chicago Bears, or as Saturday Night Live coined the team in this 90s skit,
a team that is known as the Bears. The Bears.
Well, whether you prefer the Bears or the Bears.
Looking forward to this Sunday. Every home game is great.
Joe Caruso, GM of Aurelio's Pizza in the South Loop, is walking distance from Soldier Field. He says moving the team to Arlington Heights would crush his revenue.
Well, normally on a Bears game, we generate about $35,000 on that day. And the staff, I mean, the money that the staff makes in tips, it makes their week, their month.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea.
We caught up with Patrick Bruce, who was out with his family on the museum campus celebrating his son's birthday. He and his relative Jacob are huge fans.
Every football season, put the kids in their room, and that way I could watch the game and yell at the TV in silence.
But they think moving the team is a plus.
Not having to deal with all the jam-ups on Lakeshore Drive, and easier for the fans to get to the games with less hassle.
I really, really hope it doesn't go through.
Susan Nibbs lives near the stadium. You live in the heart of it. Just Can you imagine not hearing the crowd?
No. Game day is I walk my dog at 7 in the morning and people are like heading to the game. It's just that it's alive.
Back at Aurelio's, missing the Bears at Soldier Field is an understatement for Caruso.
The city should have a Chicago team, and it should be the Chicago Bears, and not taking anything away from a suburb, but they are the Chicago Bears.
Well, Caruso also told us that his business and several others in the South Loop have been hit really hard during this COVID pandemic. So if the Bears do indeed leave Soldier Field for the suburbs, he says that his business could be impacted even further in the future. Reporting live from Soldier Field, Jewel Hillary, WGN News.